Hi, and welcome to our presentation today. Today, I'm going to be talking about the future of offshore real estate investment. I think historically, this has been something that a lot of people have found too complicated or have believed that they need a lot of money, a lot of cash to be able to invest offshore. Today, we are going to talk about how that has completely changed, how there is a new way of offshore real estate investing that makes having a global portfolio of real estate possible for everyone. My name is Linden Booth. I am the Chief Product Officer and I work for Wealthpoint. We are a financial technology company that provides digital real estate investment platforms to people in the real estate sector. In the old days, the old way, and when I say in the old days, I laugh because that's probably the last decade. I'm not talking about a century ago. I'm talking about recently. There were three ways that someone could invest offshore. You'd be able to invest in a REIT on the stock market, go and purchase a share in a company that owns commercial real estate. Alternatively, if you wanted to actually own your own asset, you would go and buy a single, normally an apartment or 2 apartments or 3 apartments, but you would own them yourselves. You would need to put in place the legal structures to own that in the country you're buying it. You'd need to have tax advisors, you'd need to have auditors, and you would basically run the company in that country that owned these real estate assets. You would then also have management agents that you would need to find. The third way is if you were extremely wealthy, you could take down a piece of a commercial building offshore. Often these buildings sell for between $20 to $100 million. And if you had $3 or $4 million, you can get a seat at the table and get those high returns that commercial buildings offer, but you really need to be wealthy. Now, that is the old way. And the good news is that there is a different way of being able to have direct investment into particular assets. And that's really what we're talking about today. And this is for people like myself, and I assume like yourself, who firstly understand that real estate is an important asset in your overall investment strategy. It provides you a bit of diversification that's not correlated, that's not linked to behaviors on the stock market. If the stock market goes up or down, a good quality real estate investment will not move with it. It still delivers your returns. It still delivers the rentals as long as you've got great quality. It's also for people who understand that offshore diversification is vital. Myself personally, I love South Africa. I love living here. I have no intention of going anywhere else, but I still want to have a portion of my investment portfolio offshore in dollars, in euros, in pounds. And I want that diversification. And lastly, I actually want to be able to choose my own investment and the people I'm investing with. I don't want to invest in a REIT, a real estate investment trust on the stock market, where someone else is investing into buildings that I can't select, I don't know about, I can't choose my own investment strategies. So if you are an investor like that, there is a new normal. This is what the everyday investor who wants to have offshore real estate, this is what they are now wanting. Firstly, it has to be easy. You have to be able to do this without having to go to that country, without having to have multiple meetings with lawyers or accountants. You need to have trust, but it has to fundamentally be easy. Secondly, a large group of people is waking up to the fact that commercial real estate is delivering higher returns than your individual residential apartment. And if you can be a part of that in a way that's safe, and deliver those better returns, that is what people are wanting more and more. We've spoken a little bit earlier about the fact that institutional quality deals are deals where normally you would have to either be an institution, in other words, a fund, or have a lot of money yourself at a personal level before you can even get a seat at the table to some of these really good deals. But now that is changing. Direct investing is when you're actually choosing your individual asset. You're not just investing in a fund, but you're choosing a particular building in a particular location with a particular business model that you are personally selecting. And through this are able to have a diversified portfolio. You can have a share or an investment in 10 different buildings in 10 different countries and different currencies that you have personally selected. In addition to being easy, it's also got to be simple. It can't be complex. It needs to be something that investors can see and understand quickly and easily. one of the things that has always held back a lot of people from being able to invest is the sense that it's a risk, because you do not know whether the partners you are working with are regulated. And the reality is that for the majority of the time, offshore real estate investment has not been through regulated financial service providers. That is changing. And through that, you're getting reduced risk and higher returns. Now, probably the final piece in terms of what everyday investors are wanting is transparent fees. Whether it's the fee from the person bringing the deal, the estate agent, whatever it is, people are wanting transparent and clear fees, and fees that are constantly dropping. We are seeing this around the investment world, that because of the influence of technology and technology's ability to simplify transactions, to make things quick and easy, transactional fees should be dropping. So what does this mean? Well, fundamentally, there is a new way of building a global portfolio. Through digital investment platforms, you can now own your own diversified portfolio simply from your desk with trusted partners. Now, this is not new. These digital investment platforms have been evolving incredibly rapidly for the last 5 years. This was a quote from the Wall Street Journal 3 years ago, already noticing that digital platforms are completely changing the way ordinary people are investing into real estate. Forbes followed up 2 years ago, really singing the praises of digital platforms and the change they make to an ordinary investor, whether you're offshore or not. And what is the heart? What is the key of these digital investing platforms? Well, I think fundamentally it's an evolution of investing. It's not just taking what you used to do and then digitizing. It's not taking a document that you used to sign on a fax machine and now signing it on the internet. That would just be a digitization of investing. But what platforms are actually doing is evolving, a complete revolution in a way of investing. And the way they're doing this is that they are making it possible for ordinary investors to get access to deals that previously only the extremely wealthy were able to do it. And at the core of this is that digital platforms can take money from 100 or 200 people from around the world, and then with that authority, with that money, speak as one voice and get a seat at the table, because they, between them, will have raised 3 to 4 million. Now, previously, this was not possible. But what digital platforms are bringing is a high degree of regulation and authorization, which now means that when this 100 or 200 people are getting together and aggregating their money for a particular deal, it is in a very regulated way. And using technology, it has made it incredibly simple. So now, at a cost-effective way and a safe and trusted regulated way, people can invest into particular deals, and the people running those deals will accept your investment because they don't have to deal with all 100 or 200. And the fundamental part of this is the transactional accounts. What this means is that inside a digital platform, there's an account. Think of it as a cash account where you deposit money. Once your money is in that account, you can then invest into whichever deal you want, and you receive money back into that account. Now, those accounts need to be held by third parties who are independent. They act like trust accounts. But the great news is that you control it. When you log in, you can deposit money, you can withdraw money, and it provides a seamless and cheap and effective but incredibly safe way of moving money into investments. And then the last two aspects that the digital investment platforms are bringing to the everyday investor is that now the everyday investor can actually access commercial real estate deals and are not limited to residential deals in London or some part of Germany or in some part of the States. You can now get access to the best commercial real estate. You can be a part of Amazon's next industrial commercial building. You can buy a part of a medical office block in Texas. Whatever your particular niche is, self-storage, student accommodation, commercial real estate is now possible for the ordinary investor. We've mentioned this, but at the heart of these new offerings is that risk is being reduced, even more so perhaps than the old-fashioned way where you had to sign things on a document, because of the increasing level of regulation, authorization, that money is being held securely by third parties who themselves are backed by some of the biggest banks in the world. The risk of the actual process having any issues is significantly reduced. These platforms are under immense regulatory investigation and checking to make sure that they are doing everything properly. With that, and the fact that that allows you access to commercial deals, you're getting reduced risk with increasing returns. And that is driving a fundamental change in global real estate investing. And at the heart of this is safety and security. I've spoken about it already, but at the heart of this, it's about making sure that your funds are safe. And there are three main points that are driving an increase in safety and security and decrease of risk. The first one is the security of funds. Any funds you put into the system is held by a third party, very regulated transaction system. Think about this like a share trading account. When you go into a share trading platform, you log in and then you deposit money, and those funds should never be able to be touched by anyone other than yourself through the login that you have. And that is key to digital platforms. No more trust funds, no more depositing money into some firm's bank account. Through the platform, you get absolute security of custody of your funds while they're in the cash form. Once you got your investment, that investment is then held in a special purpose vehicle. It might be a UK company where the 100 or 200 investors in that deal are all members or shareholders, but that company needs to be professionally managed by a regulated entity that can manage it on behalf of the investors. And this is crucial. You don't want your SPV, your special purpose vehicle, being managed by just anyone or even the firm that's controlling the real estate deal. That third-party independence becomes crucial. And then lastly, a digital investment platform, when it allows a deal to be listed on its platform, it needs to have provided intense and very deep partner and deal due diligence to make sure that partners listing deals on the platform are only the best in their asset class and in their country and in their state, in their province, but also that the deal that they have brought has passed the verification and due diligence level. With those three aspects combined, it makes real estate investing globally simple and safe for someone like me sitting in South Africa to own a piece of a superb commercial building. Now, we as our company, Wealthpoint, we do not have our own client base. We instead provide platforms to people like Real Estate Investor Magazine. And we are extremely excited that Real Estate Investor Magazine has their own digital platform that you can access, that you can log in, sign up, and get access to the best world-class deals. Start building a global portfolio, and from small amounts. You don't have to buy the whole building. You can come in with $500 or $1,000 and start building your portfolio from scratch and building it up into a world-class commercial institutional quality real estate portfolio. To do that, you can go to the Real Estate Investor Magazine's portal. They will give you that link. When you log in, the deals are there. They're waiting for you. Phenomenal returns over these deals, and you can choose your own strategies. You can go for deals where it's a development. In other words, they're not going to be quarterly dividends. Instead, you're going to get a bigger capital gain at the back. You can go for deals that are already in place, where there's rental income with world-class managers and you're getting regular returns. You can invest in the US, you can invest in the UK, you can invest in Europe. You can choose industrial, you can choose apartments, you can even choose logistics, student accommodation. Whatever your choice is, you can now build your own real estate investment portfolio. So from all of us to all of you, we are extremely excited that the world of offshore real estate investment has changed. And for you, welcome to the future of offshore real estate investment.